Ladies and gentlemen, smash that like button and hit that hype button. And I'm going to say that this is allegedly that this boy, Nolan Xavier Wells, fake friend, Bart Edmiston. We are now surviving Bart Edmiston. Shout out to John McMullen in the building. Pure survival. Tropical days. Golden heart. We have a golden heart in the building. We need all the golden hearts. Early, I'm early, coming to seek the truth. Shout out to Seeker of the Truth, Prayer Survival, Anonymous, Tyrese Parker. We all in the building, guys. And I need y'all all to smash that like button and say this name with me. Say this name with me.
What's his name?
Those chants echoed through Jones Park in Gulfport. Supporters marched down Highway 90 and across the Coast Transit Authority pedestrian bridge, hoping to keep Nolan Wells' case in the public eye.
Do y'all see this? We are going to keep Nolan Xavier Wells' case in the public eye. If y'all want to get justice, make sure y'all smash that like button, guys, because they want us to be silent. They want us to be quiet, pure survival. After we all listen to that audio on the boat, when they called 911 on the boat, you can literally hear a whole altercation taking place during survival. They tried to lie and claim that it's AI. I don't understand why everything that comes out now, they're trying to blame it on an AI, pure survival. But then TMZ had confirmed that it is the real audio. Y'all not going to tell me that that's not the real audio, ladies and gentlemen. We are getting justice for Nolan. We not playing with this, with them. You know what I'm saying? If they don't want to give us answers, then we're going to think of our own answers. Pure survival. This boy was on the same football team as Nolan Xavier Wells. Pure survival. And Bart, okay, allegedly was jealous of Nolan because all the coaches was screaming, "Go ahead, Nolan, you did it. You scored a touchdown. Pure survival. You're the best player on the team." And then you got the cheerleaders. "Let's go, Nolan. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go, Nolan." Everybody had loved Nolan during survival. And that boy Bart wanted to be with Katie, allegedly. This is why Nolan didn't leave with Katie. If y'all notice that Katie said she did not hang out with Nolan long. Pure survival. Nolan went and got back on that boat because Nolan was a good friend. Nolan said, "Look, Katie, Bart is getting jealous, pure survival, that I'm about to blow your back out for the 4th of July, pure survival, and he wanted some of your kitty cat for the 4th of July. So Nolan was being a loyal friend and said, "No, Katie, I'm not going to go with you," and went on that boat. And Bart is the one that said, "Shut the F up." That's what I found out. Bart is the one that was on the boat that said, "Shut the F up, guys." So we got to keep Nolan's name alive.
What's his name?
Those chants echoed through Jones Park in Gulfport. Supporters marched down Highway 90 and across the Coast Transit Authority pedestrian bridge, hoping to keep Nolan Wells' case in the public eye.
The question that Mrs. Christine Wansley and Elmore Wansley have said from the beginning, what happened to Nolan Wells? So that's why we're here today as well. We're here to find out what happened to Nolan Wells.
Selena Charles, founder of Purpose for the People, says she won't stop until she gets answers.
No one's here with violence. I attended the funeral. There was no violence there, none at all. Having questions is not violence.
You understand that? Having questions of what happened to Nolan is not violent at all. Love Chops is in the building. Pure Survival has been a member for 8 months. Lock them up. Justice for Nolan. This is how we all feel. Like y'all trying to sweep stuff under the rug. Even Judge Mathis. Shout out to Judge Mathis. Judge Mathis said this is like Emmett Till. This is like Emmett Till, because Emmett Till's supposed to had allegedly whistled at a white woman, pierced her Bible. Nolan Wells was supposed to go off with Katie, which was a white woman during survival, and there was some jealousy that took place. So shout out to Judge Mathis, guys. Listen to Judge Mathis.
What's case, man?
Yes, thank you for having me.
Yes, indeed. So much to get into. I don't want to waste no time. I want to get right into it. How you feel about this second autopsy that was done on Nolan Wells?
Yes, I think when we last spoke, that we were awaiting the forensic autopsy because the original autopsy performed by the county examiner, we just weren't convinced it would be independent, quite frankly, because we weren't getting enough information from law enforcement. And so,
And y'all hear that? We had to do our own independent autopsy because we weren't getting enough information. Pure survival. Then they got people in Mississippi, I think the DA or whoever, she said that we gotta wait all the way until it goes to a grand jury and made a whole excuse, which I feel like they're gonna wait till we get to the grand jury and have them clean it up. They're going to have family members that's working at the grand jury. Pure survival. We already got judges, doctors, all these people, family are people in power. So they're trying to make sure that the narrative that they wanted to paint, why would they come out and say that Nolan drowned in the beginning? Pure survival. Because they were trying to cover this shit up.
we just weren't convinced it would be independent, quite frankly, because we weren't getting enough information from law enforcement. And so the forensic autopsy came back, and lo and behold, even though they're trying to downplay it, and I understand Ben Crump and NAACP and others don't want to try and jump to conclusion or step too far out, but the forensic autopsy showed that there was what they call discoloration. No, I call them bruises in the back of the head.
Wow. Do y'all agree with Judge Mathis? Everybody smash that like button if y'all agree with Judge Mathis. Judge Mathis said no, they were bruises in the back of Nolan's head. Pure survival. Somebody hit Nolan in the back of the head with something, and that's what we believe. And guys, don't worry about if any racist MAGAs come in here, thank you, Secret of Truth. Just put nuts in their mouth. Pure survival. Just put nuts in their motherfucking mouths. But like he said, Judge Mathis said, something happened to the back of Nolan's neck, and they're trying to make up some excuses and lie and sweep it under the rug. That's why they didn't give the throat and Nolan's neck to the autopsy.
Crump and NAACP and others don't want to try and jump to conclusion or step too far out, but the forensic autopsy showed that there was what they call discoloration. No, I call them bruises in the back of the head, appearing that someone has had their hand pressed at the back of their head, at the back of Nolan's head.
Wow. So he's saying that somebody had Nolan pressed down in the water to the back of his head. Oh my God. Everybody smash that like button if y'all agree with Judge Mathis. He's saying those wounds in the back of Nolan's head means somebody was holding him down. Somebody was trying to drown him. Somebody unalived Nolan, and they held his head down to the daggone ground. Pure survival. And now they're trying to tell us that this audio is AI and all this different stuff. You hear the people in the background panicking. Why did the grandfather say that they didn't need help? The grandfather said, no, don't worry about it. They don't need no help. I think the grandfather probably in on it too. Pure survival. They probably told the grandfather, "Look, Nolan, man, it was a fight that happened. Dad, granddad, I'm sorry, and Nolan passed away. He's not waking up." And I think the granddad told them, "Look, don't get the cops involved. All right, I'm gonna tell them that y'all don't need no problems. First of all, because he come from the Mississippi burning days. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you guys, smash that like button so this can get out there, guys.
Head appearing that someone has had their hand pressed at the back of their head, at the back of Nolan's head. That's concerning to me. And so hopefully we'll get some more insight on that. I'm not sure. It seems like there's another opportunity for them to investigate something physiological. I'm just not sure, because as far as I knew, the forensic autopsy is as far as you go, but we'll see. But yeah, that's what causes new concern. And then you've had different stories coming out from the teenagers. One of the young men himself spoke out about it, claiming they had begged Nolan to get on the boat, and that he wouldn't. Then there's the woman that he's supposed to have stayed back with, I think her name Katie or something. Well, he was supposed to have stayed back with Katie. That was their story. However, Katie's friend says that Katie hasn't, she saw him only in passing.
Wow, do y'all hear that? Smash that like button. So Katie only saw Nolan in passing during survival. She told the police her sister or her friend said she only saw Nolan in passing. So they only was around each other for them to just have a little tiny little dialogue, which I believe that Bart was probably looking at Nolan about to go off with Katie, pure survival, and Nolan knew that Bart was probably wanting to be with her, and he was being a loyal friend and said, "Katie, I can't hit that tonight. I got to go back on the boat with the boys." Pure survival. Being a loyal friend. Because why would Katie say that Nolan didn't stay with her? Put a 1 in the chat if y'all think that Nolan got back on that boat and never stayed on the island. Put a 2 in the chat if y'all think that he left with Katie. If y'all think that he left off with Katie. Or, like I said, put a 1 in the chat if y'all think he got back on the boat with Bart and the rest of the goons. Because it's a whole lot of 1s in the chat, ladies and gentlemen.
That he wouldn't. Then there's the woman that he's supposed to have stayed back with, I think her name Katie or something. Well, he was supposed to have stayed back with Katie. That was their story. However, Katie's friend says that Katie hasn't, she saw him only in passing on the island, didn't stay with him, and Katie isn't saying anything at all. So it's a lot of moving parts here, and I'm just hoping it's not one of those, quite frankly, and if his friends didn't have anything to do with it, and they truly left him behind, etc., etc. He has discoloration, bruises on the back of his neck. Something happened, and
y'all hear that? He had discolorations and bruises on the back of his neck. Judge Mathis said something happened. So if y'all claiming y'all left Nolan behind, pure survival, somebody took his life. He did not drown. Nothing to do with drowning unless somebody forced his head down with the back of his neck, pure survival, into the water. So all of that story they tried to give up in the beginning is a total lie. Why would a Judge Mathis don't have no reason to lie, pure survival. He not saying this because Nolan's black, you know what I'm saying, and Chinese, pure survival. He not saying none of that. It's the truth.
a lot of moving parts here, and I'm just hoping it's not one of those, quite frankly, and if his friends didn't have anything to do with it, and they truly left him behind, etc., etc. He has discoloration, bruises on the back of his neck. Something happened, and quite frankly, this is Mississippi, where in 1955, which sparked the civil rights movement, Emmett Till was killed for so-called whistling at a white woman. And now we're hearing Nolan Wells stayed back to be with a white woman.
Whoa, did you hear what Judge Mathis just said? Pure survival. Smash that like button if y'all believe that that is a great analogy. Judge Mathis literally just said Emmett Till, rest in peace to Emmett Till, was unalive, 14 years old, minding his own business, pure survival, went to Mississippi to visit other family members, was drugged out of his relative's house, took into a barn, unalive, by some grown racist motherfucker beard breath fucking cowards that got a chance to die from natural causes that and admitted to taking Emmett Till's life. They admitted and got paid by a newspaper place, pure survival, and never persecuted ever. You know what I'm saying? Because he's supposed to whistle at a white woman, pure survival, and the woman ended up saying, while she was 1,000 years old, looking like one of the golden motherfucker girls, she said that Emmett never whistled at her. She ended up saying that on her deathbed, pure survival. And this was all over a white woman. So like Judge Mathis is saying, he believes that this was all over a white woman. Nolan lost his life over a white woman, and so did Emmett Till, guys. Smash that like button. This is crazy.
Have anything to do with it, and they truly left him behind, etc., etc. He has discoloration, bruises on the back of his neck. Something happened. And quite frankly, this is Mississippi, where in 1955, which sparked the Civil Rights Movement, Emmett Till was killed for so-called whistling at a white woman. And now we're hearing Nolan Wells stayed back to be with a white woman. And he turns up dead with bruises behind his neck.
Wow.
That's the context I'm putting this in. Is Emmett Till perhaps all over?
Wow. Emmett Till all over again. Smash that like button, guys. This is just completely horrifying. This is completely horrifying. Then you got the friends out literally telling on themselves. This is crazy.
Nolan Wells bombshell tonight. The dead teen's messages deleted after his body washes ashore.
Now explain that. Why would Nancy Grace and Nancy Grace's Timu wig, pure survival, jump in to tell the truth, and now they're mad at Nancy Grace and they're mad at her Timu wig, pure survival, saying why are you sticking up for the blacks when all she doing is telling the truth, pure survival. Shout out to the lounge, beautiful, coming in the building. Nancy Grace even knows if they didn't do nothing to Nolan, why would they erase all his messages in his phone, pure survival? Why didn't the Mississippi police take their phones, the friend's phone? I guarantee you they're gonna see shit, them text messages with them saying, oh, be quiet, you better not say nothing. None of you better not say nothing. We making a Goonies pact, pure survival. We are the Mississippi Goonies. Y'all better not say nothing. I bet you it's going to be a whole lot of horrifying things in those kids' phones. But they probably got a chance to delete them.
Nolan Wells bombshell tonight. The dead teen's messages deleted after his body washes ashore. Caitlin, now allegations have reared their ugly head that his phone has been tampered with and items have been deleted. Explain.
They had his phone, and when his mother was looking for his phone when he was missing, there were two different ways to identify it, either a Snapchat location or a Life 360 location. They showed different locations, which is very possible because one updates automatically, the other only updates when you open the app. But when she finally tracked it down, she says there was nothing on it from that day.
Nolan.
So everything that was on that boy's phone. So you mean to tell me a 18-year-old went on a whole trip and he ain't get no footage? Pure survival? You trying to tell me Nolan Xavier Wells didn't get no footage? And they said that he loved, his mother said he loved motherfucker Snapchat. Pure survival. He loved being on social media. Nolan got all the girls. His milkshake brought all the motherfucking cheerleaders to the yard. Pure survival. And the children of the Mississippi Corn was jealous of Nolan. They were jealous of Nolan. Pure survival. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe none of this motherfucking shit. You know what I'm saying? And this is the boy who yelled out. The boy that yelled out, shut the F up. Shut the F up. Here he go right here with a Pooh Shiesty's mask on. He had on a Pooh Shiesty's mask. Everybody smash that like button if y'all think Nolan got his life taken. Smash that like button. We need all of them likes up. We not going to get quiet at all. If y'all want to hide the autopsy, don't want to tell us the truth, we got to go off of what we feel, of what we see and what's going on around here. Pure survival. Here go the boy right here.
The case of Nolan Wells has now hit another level of discussion after leaked official audio of his friends, who some consider were not his friends, emergency call to a boat company will begin circulating online.
This is the boy that was driving the boat, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, here goes the boy who was riding the boat rider. You know what I'm saying? If he's an 18-year-old that died from, let's say, alcohol or drugs or whatever, the person who gave these minors alcohol, who gave these minors drugs, shouldn't they be in handcuffs right now? Pure survival? If he died just off of something like that? Nobody's been arrested. This is horrifying.
Hey, we're at the west tip of Bourne, and our village pump stopped working. We're thinking, can y'all please come? We have a membership. Shut the fuck up!
Did y'all just hear it? Smash that like button if y'all heard somebody say on that phone call, shut the F up. If you heard somebody say, shut the F up, smash that like button and put a 1 in the chat. If y'all heard somebody say, shut the F up in this audio, and it's the real audio, and the boy who said, shut the F up, his name is Bart. His name is Bart, ladies and gentlemen. Look, we all heard it. There's no way you can take back that we all heard that. Shut the F up. Something was happening.
Our village pump stopped working. We're thinking, can y'all please come? We have a membership. Shut the fuck up!
Now, what was shocked listeners from the recorded audio was the commotion taking place in the background as the boat's driver, identified as Wyatt Pyram, spoke with the operator of Ceto while allegedly struggling with the boat. As reported, along with others, we appear to hear the word dead be used, along with something that sounds like Nolan, followed by a cry out of, oh my God, by a female passenger. Then a male voice saying, wake the F up or shut the F up, and lastly, someone yelling out, damn it, Bart.
And after he said, shut the F up, somebody said, damn it, Bart. Damn it, Bart. So did Bart hit him in the back of the head with something? Pure survival? Were they fighting? Put a 1 in the chat if y'all think that they were fighting. Pure survival. You know what I'm saying? And then Nolan was laying on the ground. You know what I mean? They're trying to resuscitate him. Pure survival. They know that he's on the phone. You know what I'm saying? But they all drunk. You know, all scrambling and scraping for shit. And then Bart is saying, shut the F up. And then somebody said, damn it, Bart. This is crazy.
Now, some have gone on to attempt to debunk a few of those claims being reported. So in this report, we will focus on the words that mainly everyone agrees to have heard, which is the woman yelling out, oh my God, and damn it, Bart. According to a recent interview by Warren Hudson, the self-proclaimed best friend of Nolan, and who was identified since the case's earliest reports, the lead call.
And this boy right here, Pure Survival, he showed no emotions whatsoever when he was talking about Nolan. Pure survival. Smash that like button if y'all believe that this boy didn't show no emotion. You sitting there talking about my best motherfucker friend. You know what I mean? Then you went back to the island where he lost his life at and was just walking around like it's a regular motherfucker day. Pure survival. If that was my best friend, I would have been crying through the whole interview with Uncle Tom, a.k.a. The Timo version of Heavy D. Pure survival. I would have been crying the whole motherfucking time. Oh, my God, I miss Nolan so bad. It's my fault that he went back. Pure survival. This Brian motherfucker Kohlberger looking dude right here, Pure Survival, kept his hands on his motherfucker the whole time. These boys been looking guilty as hell. They don't even realize every interview that they're doing, they're looking worse and worse. Pure Survival. When they got the Uncle Tom that don't even give a damn. He just trying to make money and hope to God that he wake up one day and his face is painted white. Pure Survival. That's all he trying to do is get a white card. He ain't worried about y'all. You know what I'm saying? This is crazy. But these boys, I'm telling you, this shit is fishy like bad Regina.
Would be made just as they were getting help to be told by their friend Bart Edmiston, which means that Damn It Bart was more than likely directed towards Edmiston, who happens to be a former student of Ocean Springs High School and a now collegiate athlete for the University of Wyoming as their starting punter. Now, upon research, it can even be confirmed that Bart and Wells were also former teammates.
You see this? Barton and Nolan was former teammates. Pure Survival. So they go back from teenagers, from little kids. So just imagine if everybody was cheering on Nolan, Pure Survival. He catching all the motherfucking touchdowns. Pure Survival. He's getting all the girls. You know what I'm saying? This boy could have been holding on some hate and anger for Nolan for years. Pure Survival. Look how he's staring at Nolan. We don't even know. He could have had a crush. He could have had a crush on Nolan. Pure Survival. Look at Adam 22. Adam 22 been looking for a boyfriend for the longest. Adam 22 been giving out his wife's vagina trying to find him a black man. Pure Survival. You know what I'm saying? But he could have wanted to go steady with Nolan and was jealous of Katie. Pure Survival. It could have been that too. Because look how he's looking down Nolan's throat. Either he's looking down Nolan's throat, Pure Survival, or he's looking like, dude, oh my God, man, I wish I can get that kind of hairstyle. Dude, one day, fucking dude, I want to get me some motherfucking black guy hair, man. Dude, fucking shit. You know what I'm saying? So he held on this anger for years.
As seen here in this picture, shared on Ocean Spring High School's football Facebook page, ironically what appeared to be a very wholesome moment of them next to each other, talking to elementary students, no longer reflects the status of where Edmiston and Wells have now ended up today, with one being a victim of a mysterious death and another accused of being behind it. Now, for those who feel Edmiston should be in question, mainly comes from his aggressive tone when seemingly yelling out, "Shut the F up" or "Wake the F up."
Now, y'all hear that? They said the reason why people is giving him the blame, Bart, or saying Bart should have been questioned, he's the one with all the aggression on that boat. Pure Survival. He's the one on the boat. You know what I'm saying? Saying, shut the F up. So they probably was scared of him. Pure Survival. This boy was probably on steroids. He probably was the most aggressive one that did the most drugs. Pure Survival. You know what I'm saying? He probably had them all in check, you know, and they all were scared of him. And they're probably all scared of him right now. Pure Survival. He's the one probably saying, if any of you open your mouth and say anything, the same thing that happened to Nolan will happen to you. Pure Survival. I'm sorry. This is just what my thought is. He was on the white powder, they said. Oh, my God. Shout out to the Louds, my baby. Pure Survival. She said the boy was on that Christina Aguilera. That boy was on the Justin Bieber. So he was high out of his mind, dictating and controlling the whole goddamn situation. This is crazy, guys.
Being behind it. Now, for those who feel Edmiston should be in question, mainly comes from his aggressive tone when seemingly yelling out, "Shut the F up" or "Wake the F up" before someone yells out, "Damn it, Bart," which for those who feel that the audio reveals a possibly dying Nolan was on one of the boats or near the boats, falls perfectly into the timeline after the female passenger would yell, "Oh my God," in horror as if she witnessed something.
Look at him. Did y'all just see him? Look at how he's flexing his muscles. He's flexing his children of the Mississippi corn muscles. Look.
Possibly dying Nolan was on one of the boats or near the boats, falls perfectly into the timeline after the female passenger would yell, "Oh my God," in horror as if she would.
Look at the boy. Look at him. Everybody smash that like button if y'all think that he knows something about Nolan's death, Pure Survival. If y'all think he has something to do with Nolan's death, Pure Survival. I need all of them likes up. It shows you his aggression. He's the one who said, shut the F up. You know what I'm saying? Look at him flexing his muscles. Oh, I'm the biggest. I'm the baddest. You know what I'm saying? I'm the hardest, corest football jock out there. I am the Hunter Metcalf of the group. I'm the Austin Metcalf. Rest in peace to Austin. Pearls of Bible. You know what I'm saying? But they was feeling like they were super tough guys. So if Nolan came through and was getting all the football credit, was getting all the girls, it could have brought anger out of this boy, and he could have had that anger for years.
And it's something gruesome. Suspicions for some about Bart also centered around the lack of mention of him by anyone during this entire case, as if he was.
And did y'all hear what he just said? Shout out to Comedy Hype News. This whole case, we've been talking about this. Nobody was mentioning Bart the whole time. Don't y'all think that that's mysterious? This boy has been the one that everybody was most quiet about. Like nobody was talking about him. And he was on the boat. And he's the one who said, shut the F up. So he's the one that everybody's being most secretive about. Pure survival. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he's a gangster. Look how he holding on to that motherfucking fish. Pure survival. Prayers for the fish, guys. He's probably about to snap the motherfucking the fish neck during survival. You know what I'm saying? Look, the boy, listen, even Jeffrey Dahmer used to kill animals and shit. Pure survival. Look at the Jeffrey Dahmer behavior. What he doing to that fish. You know what I'm saying? This is crazy. We can't trust what he doing under the sea or over the sea.
In horror, as if she witnessed something gruesome. Suspicions for some about Bart also centered around the lack of mention of him by anyone during this entire case, as if he was purposely being hidden. So who is Bart Edmiston Jr.? According to research, he is 21 years of age and looks to have left Ocean Springs High School soon after he and a younger Wells were teammates in 2022 to continue his football career. He is noted for being one of Mississippi's best high school punters, followed by several awards in his time in junior.
Okay, so he was supposed to be one of the best punters. Let me see, what did you just say? They said he is trying to get into the NFL. That's why Warren and them are protecting him. Wow, pure survival. Well, it's too late for protection. You know what I'm saying? Because he probably was jealous of Nolan. You know what I mean? You hear what they just said, he left.
Wells were teammates in 2022 to continue his football career. He is noted for being one of Mississippi's best high school punters, followed by several awards in his time in junior college. To just as recent as last October, as we would make the Ray Guy Award raised 8th selection as one of the top 8 punters in the country with an average of 45.3 yards per punt. Back in 2022, Edmiston was named Athlete of the Week by Gulf Coast, Mississippi news outlet WXXV 25.
My dad, which is also Bart Edmiston, I'm a junior, he kicked at the University of Florida, 1992-96. And then he's always wanted me to kick, and then I started it.
Look, my dad, he kicked back in 92, and dude, he always wanted me to kick, dude. So I'm not gonna lie, this boy can kick like a motherfucker, pure survival. He can punt a football. You know what I'm saying? So as y'all see, he's probably on steroids. He was strong as hell, pure survival. If he could kick a football like that, he probably could kick a motherfucker boat all the way down to the next shore. You know what I'm saying? This boy, to me, in my personal opinion, pure survival, was probably very dangerous whenever he got mad. Pure survival. Probably was very dangerous and probably beat up his parents like Austin Metcalf.
Which is also Bart Edmiston, I'm a junior. He kicked at the University of Florida, 1992-96. And then he's always wanted me to kick, and then I started it going into my 8th grade year. Last year I was the only kicker on the roster, so I had to do everything by myself, do my own ball boy, go fetch all my balls. But now, how my little brother, he came up, he's in 10th grade, he's a kicker and punter also. But now I make him do all my duties for me. I make him go fetch the balls. He's my ball boy now. Kind of mean, but it's brotherly love when I hit a good.
Wow, see? He said it's kind of mean, but it's brotherly love. Did you hear what he just said? He's admitting and bragging about bossing his little brother around. Pure survival. He said, yeah, I make him go get the ball. I make him go to the store and go get me some blunts and shit. Like, he was aggressive. And he just showed y'all how he was bossing his little brother around. So he probably wanted to boss around Nolan. Pure survival. We know he was bossing around everybody on that boat. That's why they knew not to mention him. Pure survival. You know what I mean? Or he probably was one of them boys that shove your head in the lockers. Probably shove all the geeks and nerds' head in the motherfucker in the toilet. You know what I'm saying? Smash that like button, guys. We got 1,700 people in the building. We are surviving Barton. We are surviving Barton. Listen what he said that he did to his little brother.
My 8th grade year. Last year, I was the only kicker on the roster, so I had to do everything by myself, my own ball boy, go fetch all my balls. But now, how my little brother, he came up, he's in 10th grade. He's a kicker and punter also. But now I'm like, I make him do all my duties for me. I'll make him go fetch the balls. He's my ball boy now. Kind of mean, but it's brotherly love. When I hit a good punt or a good field goal, I just chase that again.
Now, outside of this audio that has now placed Edmiston at the center of what happened to Wells, there already appears to have been a paper trail on him, as revealed by several sources. Edmiston met with the police, and his boat's GPS data was also pulled.
Oh, wow. So he's met with the police, ladies and gentlemen. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all think that this boy is guilty. Pure survival. Put a 2 in the chat if y'all think that he's innocent. Because it's already being known that he already met with the police. There's no covering nothing up. You know what I'm saying? Besides the fact that their parents got money and their parents went to high school with the law enforcement, with the, you know what I mean, the clerk. This is a small town where they control the narrative. And they are pissed off at Ben Crump, Pure Survival, and they're pissed off at Al Sharpton. You know what I'm saying? And Al Sharpton's thin neck after losing all of that weight, Pure Survival. They're mad at them because we've been making noise that we haven't been accepting or allowing them to sweep this under the rug. You know what I'm saying? Every time Ben Crump step into something, I'm going to be honest, justice happened. Pure survival. George Floyd wouldn't have never got justice if it wasn't for Ben Crump. Pure survival. Ahmaud Arbery wouldn't have never got motherfucking justice if it wasn't for Ben Crump. Pure survival. They tried to say that Ahmaud Arbery's death was a self-defense until the video came out. This is what they do, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I'm saying? Smash that like button, guys.
Well, there already appears to have been a paper trail on.
And that thing he got on his head, that's a Pooh Shiesty's mask. Pooh Shiesty. But we're going to call him Pooh Weisty. He got on a Pooh Weisty mask. A Pooh Weisty mask.
As revealed by several sources, Edmiston met with the police, and his boat's GPS data was also pulled. In a separate report, it goes on to say that Edmiston provided an investigator with his driver's license and boat registration card. Now, as we stated in our most recent report, we are certain that the FBI and investigators have the necessary tools to confirm what was said in the background during the emergency call to end all speculation. But until that happens, Edmiston now sits in the spotlight, as Wells' family and supporters continue to ask questions on how did a 6'1" athlete vanish amongst a crowd of hundreds of people and then be...
And look at him, guys. Everybody smash that like button for Nolan Xavier Wells. Pure survival. Look at him smiling. Seemed like he was a very happy guy, a happy young man that was outgoing. You know what I'm saying? And all of those girls saw his halo. Pure survival. And the most terrible thing about this, Nolan looked like the kind of boy that'd go out with his friends. Like, come on, guys, man. All the girls saying stuff to me, but I'm going to hook y'all up. Look, she got a friend for you. He don't look like he was stingy, just trying to get all the vagina for himself. Pure survival. He's one of the ones that'll help them get some oochie coochie, chawali wali, motherfucker, bang, bang. But they didn't like it. They didn't like it. That they all gravitated to him during survival.
Later washed ashore in the area he was last seen, with no witnesses coming forward when he was first reported to be missing. Now, as mentioned by state officials, the investigation on the mysterious death of Nolan Wells is ongoing, but it appears that the longer that they wait and bits of information comes out, only creates an environment for more speculation. As far as what should happen next, people like former Mississippi Judge Carlos Moore are expecting arrests to be made soon. On his Facebook, Moore would write,
Y'all hear that? The judge said we need some arrests this week. Literally a judge. Shout out to Carlos Moore. This judge right here, you know what I'm saying? Real good guy. You know what I'm saying? He said arrests should be made this week. Literally, a judge. Smash that like button if y'all agree with Judge Moore that there should be some kind of arrest like right now. Like literally right now. Look how long they had to hide evidence. Pure survival. They had so long that they was able to hide Nolan Wells' neck. You know what I'm saying? But y'all sold his kidneys, allegedly, pure survival. You know what I'm saying? Y'all doing all this other stuff with his body parts, but ain't nobody trying to arrest nobody? That's crazy.
we need some arrests this week. Now, across parts of social media, many will take to TikTok and elsewhere to share their reaction to the newly highlighted audio and their thoughts on what needs to happen.
This is crazy, guys. Shout out to everybody in the building. Make sure y'all get them likes up, man. We got to continue to keep our foot on Mississippi's neck. You know what I'm saying? Not violently. No, we're not talking about violence. We have to keep speaking out because they're still trying to cover this up. The more we speak out, the more we're going to get justice. Forget with all the negative people that don't care about us. That's why they don't want us to say nothing. They trying to make it like these boys is innocent. But if they were black boys and a white boy came up missing, every last one of them boys would still be in jail right now, pure survival. They would have made sure that they all would have snitched on each other. They would have said, look, if you don't say what happened, we're going to charge you with the murder. What happened to that? What happened to the first motherfucker 48? You know what I'm saying?
Elsewhere to share the reaction to the newly highlighted audio and their thoughts on what needs to happen.
The Nolan Wells case, I am convinced that he was strangled on that boat by Bart. And this is why. So with the audio and the confirmation, I was waiting for more of an expert kind of level. So like Nancy Grace, and she's bringing all these experts.
And you heard this woman? She just said, I'm convinced that Nolan was trampled on the boat by Bart. She said by Bart. Listen to her.
Will take to TikTok and elsewhere to share the reaction to the newly highlighted audio and their thoughts on what needs to happen.
The Nolan Wells case, I am convinced that he was strangled on that boat by Bart.
Oh, no. She said he was strangled by Bart. The one that's flexing his muscles, the one that can kick a football to all the way to another motherfucking country, that he was strangled by Bart. That's what she said. I'm sorry. Smash that like button, guys.
Reaction to the newly highlighted audio and their thoughts on what needs to happen.
The Nolan Wells case, I am convinced that he was strangled on that boat by Bart. And this is why. So with the audio and the confirmation, I was waiting for more of an expert kind of level. So like Nancy Grace, and she's bringing all these experts and confirming transcripts that I've heard from other creators on here that isolated some of the voice on there. Yeah, whatever this Bart guy, he strangled Nolan. That's where I'm at. And this is why also with the second autopsy, they said that parts of his neck, the organs inside were missing. I think they're trying to cover up that he was strangled.
Well, the new audio came.
Wow, they said that. I think that she said that they're trying to cover it up, that Nolan was strangled. Smash that like button and put a 1 in the chat if y'all think that he was strangled to death. Put a 2 in the chat if y'all don't think he was strangled to death. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what y'all feel, you know?
Now, from that CTO dispatch, I want y'all asked in jail. From Bart to Wyatt to that damn mom who was that judge. Y'all knew something happened to Nolan Wells. Look, in that CTO dispatch call, before somebody picked up, can we cover it up? You killed him. Is he already dead? Nolan, wake up. Look, damn it, Bart. I think Bart ass did it. That's what I think. Look, wake the up. They panicking. They need to be in jail by tonight.
You're about to get everything that's coming to you. But what's getting me is the fact that why is the internet solving this case before the sheriff's office?
Now answer that question, guys. Why is the internet, why is we solving the case before them? Put a 1 in the chat if y'all think because they're trying to cover it up. Put a 2 in the chat if y'all think that, hey, they're just, they're doing their job. Because she has a strong point right there. Why do we gotta solve the murder, pure survival, when y'all supposed to be the motherfucking police? You know what I'm saying? This is crazy. This is crazy.
That's what I say. Look, wake the up. They panicking. They need to be in jail by tonight.
You're about to get everything that's coming to you. But what's getting me is the fact that why is the internet solving this case before the sheriff's office? That's what gets me. Y'all were so quick to declare that there was no foul play. Just an accident. And look what we're turning up here.
There's things that seem weird there, and it's still, to me, you were in the location where his body was found, very close to where his body was found. And that's when you called for help and your grandfather called to cancel help, and there were 7 people on the boat, and there's some commotion in the background, and it doesn't sit right with me.
Wow. Now y'all even see if Santa's saying, shout out to Better Thomas, just became a member, pure survival. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all my members. And if y'all want to become a member, do exactly what Better Thomas did during survival. Santa Claus is saying that it's not sitting well with him. So you know that this is not a race thing. You even have some white people that aren't racist that know that, come on, man, something happened to him. Pure survival. If this man could come all the way down from the North goddamn pole with all the reindeers and Mrs. Claus and can see this shit, pure survival, all the way from the North motherfucker pole, y'all got to get them likes up. Put them likes up for Santa. Santa knows this shit ain't right.
Just an accident. And look what we're turning up here.
There's things that seem weird there, and it's still, to me, you were in the location where his body was found, very close to where his body was found. And that's when you called for help and your grandfather called to cancel help, and there were 7 people on the boat, and there's some commotion in the background, and it doesn't sit right with me. Like I said, boating culture, I don't know how you leave with 7 people in a boat full of water. And I also don't know how you leave with 7 people and not a boat full of water and end up not going very far, because they were still right off the west tip, and having a boat full of water. I need somebody to explain to me how that happened in calm seas with a boat that was operational when you loaded it.
Wow.
To note, wells will be found
That's
2
crazy.
days later in the same part of the island where these now boats would depart from, adding to more coincidences that point out a cover-up for some. Let's talk about it more in the comments below. Now that we relive
a complete cover-up, ladies and gentlemen. Smash that like button if y'all think that this is a cover-up for Barton. That Barton and Nolan got into a physical altercation, pure survival. They both was trashed. We already heard that Barton is very aggressive. You know what I'm saying? And the boy can kick and do motherfucking karate, all types of shit, pure survival. He bossed his brother around. They're all scared of him. He said, shut the F up, and the whole motherfucker boat got quiet, pure survival. And we're just hearing about Barton. We're just hearing about Ricky Barton. This is crazy, guys. We are surviving Ricky Barton. And this lady sitting here with this lie, talking about, we got to wait. We have to wait until this woman right here. Smash that like button if y'all think what she's saying is motherfucker baloney.
Circuit Court District of Mississippi. I want to talk directly to the people of Jackson County. Our community is grieving the tremendous loss of Nolan Wells, who is loved and treasured by everyone. Nolan's family deserves answers, and our community deserves answers.
So if we deserve answers, motherfucker miss, why can't we get the answers then? Pure survival. Why do we have to wait on this desperate housewife Pure survival. You don't even know where your husband be at when he on vacation. Pure survival. When he out with his young girl. You don't even know where your husband is at. Pure survival. And we supposed to believe you? You know what I'm saying?
Every death in the county, except those of natural causes and non-criminal car wrecks, are presented to your grand jury. Many people don't know that. We have handled death investigations in this manner my entire career. Nolan's case is being handled the same way, with the same care and the same commitment to the truth.
And she told the truth right there, guys. You guys, the desperate housewife just told the truth. Pure survival. She said we handle our cases like this in Mississippi her whole entire motherfucking career. Pure survival. That's right, Mrs. Desperate Housewife. Y'all been sweeping stuff under the rug. Y'all have been lying the whole entire time you've been working there, ma'am. Pure survival. And this time, y'all have to work because we are loud. We are black and we are motherfucking proud. We ain't playing. Pure survival. So now there's a difference. Y'all been sweeping stuff under the rug for so damn long. Ever since the Emmett Till days. Pure survival. You've been having people showing up hung from trees and they've been saying the person committed suicide. What will make a motherfucker say, you know what, I'm going to unalive myself and I'm going to go get on top of a tree and hang myself like we in 1912, pure survival. Only time somebody will hang themselves is if you're in prison, pure survival. That makes sense. A nigga know, look, I got two double life sentences. I'm about to get a sheet and jump off the top tier, pure survival. But why would you be hanging yourself outside of a college? It be college students. That be the one college student had her or his, I think his legs was broken, and they ruled it out as what the fuck they call that shit again? A suicide. So you break your leg first, and then you're strong enough with a broken leg to jump up on a tree. It makes no sense, lady.
That we handle all death investigations. I understand the public's urgency to know what happened to Nolan, but we are not taking time for time's sake. We are taking the time required to complete the work this investigation demands. Since Nolan was reported missing, local, state, and federal law enforcement agencies have worked around the clock.
You worked around the clock, ma'am. Pure survival. Back in your motherfucking days when you was getting your freak on, you worked around the clock. You ain't been working around the motherfucking clock. Pure survival. Soon as the clock started, the first thing y'all said was it was accidental drowning. That's the work y'all was trying to put in. Y'all was trying to hurry up. Y'all didn't even want to do the work. Pure survival. Talking about y'all working around the clock. No, y'all wanted to throw in the towel the moment that he was found. So what do you mean the work you putting in, ma'am?
Investigating what happened to him. Every piece of evidence must be examined. Every credible lead must be followed to its conclusion. Every witness interview must be analyzed in context of all other evidence. The pressure for answers does not change what the work requires. Our responsibility to Nolan and our community is to complete this investigation thoroughly, carefully, without compromise, supported by the evidence and worthy of the confidence of the people we serve. I also understand that many people have questions about why more information has not been released publicly. In Mississippi, the rules of professional conduct restrict the information a prosecutor can release during an investigation.
You heard what she said? In Mississippi. In Mississippi, where Mississippi was burning and clearly still burning, pure survival. If you have not seen the movie Mississippi Burning, please go watch it. Pure survival. You know what I'm talking about? That's one of the movies I can't even watch today, to be totally honest, because it just puts me in a bad place, because I know that all white people aren't the same. I know that all white people aren't racist whatsoever. Pure survival. Just like all black people ain't what white people that's racist think we are. We're all not the same, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I'm saying? But it'll make me just feel like, oh my God, I don't even want to feel like that, because I know everybody ain't the same. But these people been lying to us from day one. from day one. You know what I'm saying? And that's why Judge Mathis put it in the right context. Smash that like button, guys. A whole judge. You know what I'm saying? I literally got to hear Judge Mathis again.
Going to follow up on this Nolan Wells case, man.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Yes, indeed. So much to get into. I don't want to waste no time. I want to get right into it. How you feel about this second autopsy that was done on Nolan Wells?
Yes, I think when we last spoke, that we were awaiting the forensic autopsy because the original autopsy performed by the county examiner, we just weren't convinced it would be independent, quite frankly, because we weren't getting enough information from law enforcement. And so the forensic autopsy came back. And lo and behold, even though they're trying to downplay it, and I understand Ben Crump and NAACP and others don't want to try and jump to conclusion or step too far out, but the forensic autopsy showed that there was what they call discoloration. No, I call them bruises in the back of the head.
Wow. Everybody smash that like button. We need 300 more likes, guys. We need 1,000 likes in the building. If y'all agree with Judge Mathis, we need 300 likes in the building, ladies and gentlemen. You don't got to hit that super chat. It's free. It doesn't cost you any money. And I'm only telling y'all that. Then smash that like button, double tap that screen so this video can go out there. So Nolan can get justice, ladies and gentlemen. We got to be loud. You know what I mean? You got to say it loud. I'm black and I'm proud. You know what I'm saying? Nolan Xavier Wells, something happened to the back of his neck. Literally, a judge is saying this.
Ben Crump and NAACP and others don't want to try and jump to conclusion or step too far out, but the forensic autopsy showed that there was what they call discoloration. No, I call them bruises in the back of the head, appearing that someone has had their hand pressed at the back of their head, at the back of Nolan's head. That's concerning to me.
Wow, that's concerning to me. So all of the MAGAs that don't like the fact that we want justice for Nolan, pure survival, did you hear what the judge saying? Or are y'all gonna say he's only saying that because he's black? Pure survival. That somebody had their hands on the back of Nolan's neck. We saw how strong Barton was, pure survival. We see how Barton tells other people what to do. You know what I'm saying? Barton could have easily told them, look, y'all better help me with this or y'all going down right along too. Y'all going off of this boat too. Then they got TMZ, in my opinion, pure survival, acting like they're getting paid to spin certain narratives. Pure survival. TMZ talking about somebody saw Nolan on the, still left on the island when the boat took off. But they don't have nobody to come out and say, who are these people that Nolan was still supposed to be with, TMZ? Pure survival. Who are the people? And I believe they're going to have people in Mississippi that's going to come out and lie. They're going to have somebody lie. You know they got junkies out there, like how they got junkies all over the world. Pure survival. One of them rich motherfuckers going to get one of them Mississippi junkies. Look, I need you to act like you were on Horn Island. Huh? What are you talking about? Here, put this motherfucker hound in his arm. Put the hound needle in his arm. All right, listen. Now we gave you some drugs. I want you to come out and say you saw this dude named Nolan Xavier Wells, pure survival, look like he half black or Chinese. Okay, did you see him? They're going to have somebody lie and say that they seen him. I believe that's what they're going to come out with, pure survival. Soon as we go to the grand jury, they're going to have all their lies spewed over to the grand jury, you know what I'm saying, to try to make it like nothing happened. This was accidental. Look, this guy seen him out there. But it sounds so bad right now. They're going to have to accept the fact that, okay, maybe Nolan did get unalived, but it wasn't the boys on a boat, pure survival. It was some random motherfucker that saw them out there, and these people that they're going to have and pay, you know what I'm saying, to pretend that they saw him. I don't trust shit in Mississippi. You know what I'm saying? So y'all can't get mad. I don't trust it. Smash that like button, guys, if y'all agree with what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? We need 200 more likes.
Their hand pressed at the back of their head, at the back of Nolan's head. That's concerning to me. And so hopefully we'll get some more insight on that. I'm not sure. It seems like there's another opportunity for them to investigate something physiological. I'm just not sure, because as far as I knew, the forensic autopsy is as far as you go, but we'll see. But yeah, that's what causes new concern. And then you've had different stories coming out from the teenagers. One of the young men himself spoke out about it, claiming they had begged Nolan to get on the boat, and that he wouldn't. Then there's the...
Smash that like button if y'all think that that's a lie. If y'all think that that's the lie, how the friends tried to say, we told Nolan, get on the boat, Nolan, get on the boat. And Nolan said, no, go on and just take my phone. I'm staying here with this mermaid, pure survival, but I don't need no phone. I'm going to figure my way back home. I'm just going to swim down because they said the boy could swim and all of that stuff. And you know how the racist people come in and try to leave little posts talking about, yeah, learn how to swim. Black people don't know how to swim. Nolan was one of them black people who knew how to swim. Pure survival. Now, you can make that joke about me because I'm one of them black dudes that can't swim during survival. I ain't supposed to be. I'm supposed to be just looking handsome as a motherfucker right there where my feet is in the motherfucker. Pure survival. I get inside enough to where my water come just to here. Stuff like that. I'm fine with that. Pure survival. I'm only doing pictures and videos of that motherfucker water. Pure survival. I don't belong unto the sea. I don't belong unto the sea. So I accept that. But Nolan was one of the boys who could swim. Pure survival. So that joke doesn't apply to him. He was a different kind of Negro. You know what I'm saying? He not from the hood where they do the most good. So no, we're not buying this.
From the teenagers, one of the young men himself spoke out about it, claiming they had begged Nolan to get on the boat, and that he wouldn't. Then there's the woman that he's supposed to have stayed back with, I think her name Katie or something. Well, he was supposed to have stayed back with Katie, that was their story. However, Katie's friend says that Katie she saw him only in passing on the island, didn't stay with him. And
so why would the stories not match, ladies and gentlemen? Smash that like button. Think about this. Katie said, I saw Nolan in passing. Nolan never left with me anywhere. I literally saw Katie's sister or friend said Nolan got back on a boat with the boys. So if they were telling the truth, why is it a lie out there? Why would they have to lie and say that he went with her? You know what I'm saying? And guys, let's just say if this was an accident, these were teenage kids on a boat getting tore up, plastered, pure survival. You know what I'm saying? You know, Nolan had to do something with football. Like, he had a lot going on in his life. Like, this is not like this was a young kid that didn't have shit going on with himself. He did. You know what I mean? And a lot of things to look forward to. But let's just say if they all got tore up and he accidentally OD'd, why didn't the boys just say it from the beginning? You know what I'm saying? And you could defend them and say, all right, well, maybe they were scared. Because I would understand, like, okay, maybe they was scared to say that this was an accident, pure survival. All they thinking about, they never been to prison before. They looking at prison movies and shit. They already know, oh my God, I'm gonna get my back blowed out in prison, pure survival. I'm gonna have to be somebody's boyfriend. Like, they all was scared on the boat. They said it was an accident. It would have been better if they told the truth during survival. But the fact that they tried to cover it up makes it a crime, ladies and gentlemen. Pure survival. Smash that like button if y'all agree. Yeah, I mean, thank you so much, sweetheart. She says, smash that like button with a gang of fireballs. With a gang of fireballs. Look, we only need 200 more likes, guys. We almost at 1,000 likes. Nolan got a lot of love, ladies and gentlemen. We is not playing about Nolan right now. We not playing. We not playing about Nolan, nor is we playing about Carmelo Anthony. Pure survival. Boots on ground.
And says that Katie she saw him only in passing on the island, didn't stay with him. And Katie isn't saying anything at all. So it's a lot of moving parts here. And I'm just hoping it's not one of those, quite frankly, and if his friends didn't have anything to do with it and they truly left him behind, etc., etc., he has discoloration, bruises on the back of his neck. Something happened. And quite frankly, this is Mississippi, where in 1955, which sparked the civil rights movement, Emmett Till was killed for so-called whistling at a white woman. And now we're hearing Nolan Wells stayed back to be with a white woman, and he turns up dead.
Wow, that is deep as ever. And if you have not seen Emmett Till's movie, they just did a new one, I think like 2 years ago. I've seen every one, and I know the history. That's some of the history that they've been trying to hide, where they don't want people to learn pure survival, like the next generation. But I knew all about all of this stuff. You know, when Emmett Till's mother saw his body, when he came in that box, if she wouldn't have never had the strength to put his face out there in that newspaper to show the world what they did to this 14-year-old boy. Emmett was 14, ladies and gentlemen. Can you imagine that? But it was two of them, racist white men, and I'm sure they had other people helping them, beat to death, like beat him so bad. Like, just imagine when you were 14 years old, like 14. That's a baby. You know what I'm saying? And they got away with it. And the mother had to look at his face in that casket. Well, in that box they sent him back in. And like I said, the move that she made, the strength that she had, that's the strength that Nolan Wells' mother is standing on. And she has to stand on. Pure survival. You know what I'm saying? To get justice in this situation. To fight against the same state, Mississippi, where they did that to Emmett Till. Only for the woman to be 15,000 years old to come out and say, you know what? He never whistled at me. A whistle, though? Can you imagine that, though? For the racist people, think about that. You get killed for whistling at somebody. Now, you can go out there and whistle all you want. Drive a circle. You got perverts, child molesters that be driving around in their little child molester truck, pure survival, whistling at little girls, talking about, want some candy? They the ones that should be unalive, pure survival. This is crazy.
So-called whistling at a white woman. And now we're hearing Nolan Wells stayed back to be with a white woman. And he turns up dead with bruises behind his neck. That's the context I'm putting this in. Is Emmett Till perhaps all over?
Wow, so you feel like
Emmett Till all over, guys. And the guilt that these boys are showing. The friends, where is this dude broke down the guilt, the red flags on Nolan Wells' friends. Smash that like button, guys. We is up there. We need 110 more likes. Salute to all of y'all. These are the red flags of the friends.
Doing or actually not doing and not saying that is alarming to me. But before I explain what it is, I do want to say I am not saying that these boys are guilty of committing a crime. I don't know what happened that day, and I can't say for sure that they did or did anything or played any role in Nolan Wells' death. But what I will say is some of the information that is coming out as they do these interviews and some of the things that they're saying and some of the details. I mean, some of these things are very suspicious and should be investigated. Now, the biggest red flag that I've noticed, not just in these interviews, but in the entire series of events that have taken place since Nolan Wells was missing, is the absence of curiosity, both in their language in these interviews and in their conduct since Nolan Wells' body went missing. And let me explain what I mean. If you were going on an island, on a trip, with your three best friends, among them was Nolan Wells, who two of you are now described as best friend and or brother. These are terms of extreme closeness. So here we are.
And you hear what he's saying? These are terms of extreme closeness. Now, two of Nolan Wells' alleged best friends, pure survival, they're both calling him my best friend. You know what I'm talking about? And they're not young thug. They're my best friend, they're my best friend, my best friend, that's my best friend, that's my best friend. How is both of y'all his best friend, pure survival, and the mother has not met any one of y'all? And some people saying, well, your mom don't have to meet all your friends. You can have people that's your friends that your mom don't meet. I got plenty of dudes that I'm cool with, that I'm friends with, I'm associated with, that I knew for years that my mom never met before, pure survival. But guess what? None of them wasn't my best friend. None of them wasn't the type that I would have brought home to meet my mom, pure survival. But my best friend would know my mom, would know my dad, would know my kids call them uncle, pure survival. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it doesn't make sense. But this is how they've been behaving, the Bibrins.
There were three best friends. Among them was Nolan Wells, who two of you are now described as best friend and or brother. These are terms of extreme closeness. So here we are, a group of four people. We're best friends and brothers. And one of them decides to stay on the island, and then you never see him again. Now, if we believe what these boys are saying, they don't know what happened to him. The last time they saw him was when he decided to stay on that island, and they haven't seen or heard from him since. If we believe that that's true, then what we know is, then the boys don't know what happened either. And they should be experiencing curiosity. They should be thinking, we're just as concerned, confused, and desirous of hearing the truth as everybody else. And they should be taking actions that look like that. Going back to the island and see if they could like retrace steps and see if there's maybe a detail that they missed. They should be looking at the videos and try to see, do we recognize anybody in these videos that we can tell to police, like here are some people you guys might not be noticing because we knew lots of people. According to one of them, they knew like 30 people that were on the island, and I haven't seen anywhere where they were like helping the police or looking at the video footage or the pictures from that day saying, here's what's happening. They should be returning to the island and helping look for footprints, anything that would tell them.
Wow. Smash that like button, guys. We got 1,800 people in the building. We need 100 more likes. Don't that make all the sense in the world? Why ain't the friends that's doing interviews seeming as though that they are even concerned about what happened to Nolan? Pure survival. Clearly, they must already know. That's why they're not out there looking for, like he said, footprints. They're not showing concern of, like, they even care. If they didn't do it, who did it? Like, they're just going along normal. You know what I'm saying? And then the one dude that had the interview with the dirty clothes on, pure survival. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the lounge, pure survival. She did the video, you know what I'm saying, talking about how dirty his clothes was. Pure survival. And I didn't even recognize it. You know what I'm saying? She's like, baby, did you see how dirty his clothes was? I looked at his clothes. I said, God damn, he probably still got blood residue on himself. Pure survival. You know what I'm saying? It's just, they seem very mysterious.
Saying, here's what's happening. They should be returning to the island and helping look for footprints, anything that would tell them like this might be what happened. Now, they've gone back to the island. At least one of the interviews took place on the island, but it was more to like defend themselves and to explain how they don't know anything. But there was no language whatsoever and no actions whatsoever that are associated with curiosity. And in those interviews, not one time, and I watched everything I could get my hands on. I didn't hear one person say, man, I wish I could figure out what happened. I can't even sleep. All I'm thinking about is replaying the events of that day, trying to figure out what happened. I wish I could get the details, and I wish I could let the mom and dad know what happened. They're not using that kind of language. And that is extraordinarily concerning.
Wow. Do y'all agree what he just said? That is crazy. None of them are showing any concern. All they trying to show is like trying to prove that their case, that I'm not guilty, that we're not guilty. But they're not showing any concern of wanting to solve who did it. They seem like they're hoping that the drowning thing plays out. That they're hoping that happens. You know what I'm saying? We need 75 more likes, guys, and we almost at the 1,000. Shout out to all of y'all, man. Justice for Nolan, Xavier Wells. Justice for Nolan. We are not playing.
Wish I could get the details, and I wish I could let the mom and dad know what happened. They're not using that kind of language, and that is extraordinarily concerning. The only thing that removes curiosity is certainty. Okay? So somebody knows something because they must have certainty about something, or else they would be experiencing curiosity, as I've been explaining. Now, certainty is very, very important. Now, again, I am not saying that they did anything, but what I am saying is someone in that circle very likely knows more than they're saying, because that's the certainty that is removing the curiosity. This is by far, in my opinion, the largest red flag amongst all the things that I've noticed. And if I were doing the investigation, if I were interviewing these kids, I would hone in on exactly why they're not experiencing curiosity. It's alarming to me that the person doing the interview did not push on anything, but I would be saying, how come I'm not seeing this? And how come you're not saying that? And how come you're not experiencing these things? Because for an experienced person interviewing people, that would be something that would be standing out to me for sure.
Wow. And the reason why Officer Uncle Tom, aka Timu version of Heavy D, Pure Survival, Tatum, Brandon motherfucker wish I could be white Tatum, Pure Survival, he is trying to exonerate the boys even before finding out about their guilt during survival. He's trying to exonerate them, you know what I mean, just with hopes that they will let him into the white supremacy joint. Look, he hoping to God, please let me be down with the white folks.
And the things that you've told me have literally blown my mind. But the world haven't had a chance yet to hear your story.
And he needs to find out who is he pregnant by, Pure Survival. Because he worried about trying to disrespect his own kind, Pure Survival, which is not his own kind. You know what I mean? But this yellow boy is pregnant by somebody, Pure Survival. Look at his boobs laying out all sloppy, Pure Survival. He probably already had a baby. And his tits is laying all over here because he been breastfeeding his little racist black baby, Pure Survival. You know what I'm saying? Look at him, legs crossed. This is somebody's racist baby mother, Pure Survival, looking like Heavy D. But look at this little guilty Brian Kohlberger looking motherfucker right here, Pure Survival. And Brian Kohlberger right now trying to take back his guilty plea. Brian Kohlberger killed 4 innocent college students, Pure Survival. Finally pleaded guilty after lying for years, saying he didn't do it. And then admitted that he did it. And right now, currently, Brian Kohlberger is in court right now trying to give back his guilty plea. So you think I'm going to believe these boys?
To hear Nolan's story through you, through his friend, and it's not just you, it's a bunch of y'all. But, you know, some of the other guys were afraid because of the threats and the violence that's been threatened against their lives and all of the above.
And he's talking about the threats and the violence that these boys been having towards their life. Pure Survival. Look how guilty and sneaky he looked. Pure Survival. I don't trust his long legs. Them legs look like they can go all the way to the back of his motherfucking neck. Pure Survival. He looked like his head probably could spin, like in them scary movies. His legs should not look that motherfucking long. Pure Survival. Yeah, I'm talking about. He probably stood off of that boat and climbed and took one of them long ass legs and put it all the way on the next shore, slid Nolan's body down that long ass motherfucking leg and hid it. You know what I'm saying? And that's how the body ended up. They had to hide it. Remember when they went out and didn't see the body then? This long leg motherfucker took that leg and slid that body over there, Pure Survival, and then pulled the body back. Like, I don't trust none of these Mississippi children of the corn. I just don't.
Decided that you wanted to take this bold step and give a statement and, you know, get your side out here. And I want to start at the very beginning of all of this and and ask you, what was your relationship like with Nolan? Who was he to you?
Nolan, I could describe Nolan in a million ways. I mean, Nolan was not just a best friend of me, but he was a brother. I grew up through elementary, middle school, high school, and even our freshman year of college, you know, we talked on the phone all the time. We were really close friends. And, I mean, Nolan was like a brother to me. And Nolan lit up every room he walked in.
Nolan was like a brother to him. He lit up every room that he walked in. Didn't I tell y'all? Now that's with Barton. What's his name again? I forget his name. The one that they think that allegedly did it. He didn't like that Nolan lit up every room that he went into. Pure survival. But he was like a brother to you, but you're not concerned to find out who unalived your brother? You're not, but he was like a brother to you, though.
A smile on his face. He always had something good to say. I've never seen Nolan get in an argument with somebody and say bad things about someone. You know, there's a lot of people that...
Look at them eyes, guys. Smash that like button if those eyes look spooky as a motherfucker. I'm sorry, I'm starting to get scared right now. I'm getting scared looking at them eyes right now, guys. His eyes look more scarier than a motherfucking Chucky doll. Oh my God. Look at them eyes. Oh my God, the hills have eyes. The hills have eyes. Oh my God, look at them motherfucker. Look, shit, I'm scared now. That boy probably trying to come after me. With them long legs and wrap them legs around my neck like 20 times. He got them anaconda legs.
All crap nowadays, and Nolan was never that person. Sweetest soul ever. And I mean, I had a great relationship with Nolan. I've never got an argument with Nolan. We were super close, and I've never said or will ever have anything bad to say about Nolan Wells.
Yeah, and you guys...
And why would you have to have something bad to say about him, sir? That don't even make no sense. He just said, I will never have nothing bad to say about Nolan. I hope so, because Nolan is not here anymore, sir. Like, the thought of I would never have nothing bad to say about him. Like, why would you, like, that didn't even make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to give this one right here with the scary Chucky eyes the benefit of the doubt to say that he's probably scared of the main guy, the one that told him all to shut up. I just believe that he knows. Look how he's looking down on the ground, guys. Pure survival. He's being interviewed, but he's looking down with the face of guilt during survival. I don't trust his kneecaps. Look how his kneecaps look sharp than a motherfucker. Pure survival. But look how he's looking down like he knows something, that he feels guilty. You know what I'm saying? That he's sitting there lying. Because I'm not going to say like, okay, he's the actual strangler. But I wouldn't be surprised, pure survival. But I think that they're all scared of the guy who did it, the one who did it. You know what I'm saying? Barton, you know, and they don't want to tell on him. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm giving him that much. All right, I gave you that much, Nikki. You know what I'm saying? But we don't trust this. We don't trust this.
Just for where you sit, what are the biggest unanswered questions so far about this case?
Obviously, the biggest question is what happened to Nolan Wells. I think the reason this case has caught such fire is because they see the pictures, they see the video, and they're saying, hold on, you're trying to tell us just accept this an accident and sweep it under the rug? His mother, Christine, his father, Elmo, say no, they will not allow that to happen.
And that's what they wanted. They wanted us to just accept that this was an accident and we're going to sweep it under the rug. Your child, something that you raised, that came out of your body, you know what I'm saying, that belonged to you, that you brought to this earth, you just supposed to accept, hey, look, it was an accident. You know what I'm saying? We sorry. We hope this don't happen again. Like you can bring the son back and let him go do it again. Like, that's crazy.
his friends, his community. I mean, he was a good kid. He was beloved. He was a college athlete. He had everything going for him. And so to go on that island for 4th of July celebration and then not to come back is what is concerning everybody, especially when you hear the contradictions.
And you're conducting your own investigation. How will that differ from what the authorities are doing?
Well, one thing, we're trying to be very transparent because the family has some concerns about the state of Mississippi doing an investigation of the death of a young black man where young white students may be looked at as having some culpability. So the family is concerned about that. So we're going to have an independent autopsy.
And that's what we ended up having, an independent autopsy, which showed some very terrible things happened to Nolan. You know what I'm saying? And then they're trying to say that Nolan was on the boat. Today, TMZ said that Nolan Xavier Wells wasn't on the boat after the 911 call. He wasn't on the boat after the 911 call. He was not on the boat after that 911 call that came out, Pure Survival, exposing the truth. So he wasn't on the boat after that. You know what this made me feel like? Like when I was in middle school, this white girl named Becky, like I walked into the wrong classroom and she was like, "You're not supposed to be in here." And I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know that." She was like, "Well, like, duh, like fucking like duh, like you're not supposed to be here. Look at the sign, like a duh." It's one of those like a duh moments. When she done me, TMZ, like motherfucking duh. Where of course he wasn't on the boat after the 911 call. Pure Survival. These boys allegedly dumped him over or hid the body. Did whatever they did with Nolan Xavier Wells, Pure Survival. Of course, he's not gonna be on the boat when they show pictures the very next motherfucking morning. They did whatever they did with his body. Pure Survival. Point blank. That's what I gotta say to the fact of how come we don't see Nolan's picture on the boat. Because they hid his body. They got rid of his body. By that time, you know what I'm saying? It's just crazy. And then when his, man, like this whole case is wild, guys. But we are not letting up in Nolan's case. And then they're harassing Nolan's mother. They're writing bad reports on Nolan Xavier Wells' mother because she like a physician or something like that. Now people are saying, "Look, we don't trust you to take care of us no more." So if Nolan's mother didn't fight for justice for her son, her child, someone she's supposed to want to fight for justice for, that she should fight for justice for, the people would have been trying to act like, "Oh, we're so concerned. Oh, we're sorry for your loss." But the fact that she's speaking out, now they're trying to give her bad reviews to make her lose her job. These people are demons. Appreciated. Don't you know that love is? And dear mama, breaking news, mamas, and guess what? Nolan Xavier Wells' mother, Christine Wansley, I think, Pure Survival. This woman is receiving all kinds of negative reviews at her job during survival, out of nowhere. This grieving mother, they mad at her because she's not falling for the banana in the tailpipe, Pure Survival. She know that her son didn't just drown mysteriously or didn't just, because she's fighting for justice. But if she didn't give a damn, you know what I mean, and she didn't say nothing, then they'll be like, "Oh, we feel so bad for you, da da da." But she's stepping up like a good mother is supposed to. Pure Survival, trying to get justice, like we all want justice. This shit is crazy. These people are evil and very demonic, you know, during survival. But I'm telling you, God don't like ugly. You know, and that's why I know that justice will come. Pure survival. Everything gonna come to light. You know what I mean? If I was her, I'd tell her, look, if you watching this, Nolan mom, stay strong. Forget those motherfucking evil people. Pure survival. People get my chat all the time and say negative shit. And I don't give a damn. They be like, we don't like what you believe in. We're not gonna follow you no more. I'm like, every day a motherfucker unfollow me, another 100 come every single day. Pure survival on all 4 of my platforms. When one motherfucker leave, 100 come back during survival. So I don't give a damn. But anyway, man, justice for Nolan Xavier Wells. And that's what we're fighting for, ladies and gentlemen. We don't care about the ignorant people that don't want us to fight. That don't want us to fight. That's just make us get louder. That makes us get louder. Because after that audio came out, we know that y'all know and heard the same thing that we heard, ladies and gentlemen. No matter what color you are, you heard them fighting on that boat. That there was a struggle. That boy said, be quiet, shut the F up. You heard a girl on that boat say, oh my God, is Nolan dead? Is he dead? We heard it. They even tried to say it was an AI, and then TMZ confirmed that it was real. Even though TMZ, they playing both sides of the fence, pure survival. TMZ taking money from Mississippi. Then they coming out trying to be friends with us when we call them out, pure survival. You know what I'm saying? So TMZ playing both sides of the fence. They're playing both sides of the fence. The back of my mind, you died, and I didn't even cry. No, not a single tear. Breaking news, mangas, and gentlemen. This little dingy pant, filthy clothes having, young Tiger Woods looking motherfucker went out the DUI, pure survival. This boy did an interview, and to me, it looked like he got blood residue all over his shit. Pure survival. Look at his pants and look at his shirt. This looked like the same clothes that he had on the day that they allegedly took Nolan Xavier Wells, pure survival. And I think they probably was friends with the singer D4BD, pure survival, this little gothic black boy. He's a vampire that sleeps upside down and you have to have garlic on your neck, pure survival. These young motherfuckers will not confess when they get caught unaliving somebody. This boy took Celeste Rivas' life at 14 having an affair, pure survival, and then chopped her body up and stuffed it in his Tesla during survival. He had to been friends with the children of the Mississippi corn. The children of the Mississippi corn. It ain't no way with the Uncle Tom's interview, Uncle Tom, they're gonna end up coming to lock your ass up. Pure survival. You doing the interview with all the killers, allegedly. That's what it looked like. Cause that boy's clothes is too motherfucking dingy. Somebody need to check his clothes for blood residue. Pure survival. That's just how I feel. That's just how I feel, guys. And we are going to continue to keep boots on ground. Boots on ground and get justice for Nolan Xavier Wells. That's just point blank period. You know what I mean? That's what we're doing. Moon is dancing, come and see. The moon is dancing, come and see. Come and see. This is a lyrical. Come and see. Come and see. Breaking news, mangas, and ghetto. I just had to meditate for this shit, pure the Bible. So now TMZ is trying to say, allegedly, Nolan Xavier Wells, they have proof that he was still left on the island as the children of the Mississippi corn, pure survival, sailed off into the night. So if Nolan was still on the island, pure survival, where are the motherfuckers that he still was with on the island? Now they finally got information to try. This is supposed to be groundbreaking information that Nolan was still on the island. You know what I'm saying? Now that we heard that audio, pure survival, proving that he still was on that damn boat, proving that something crazy happened, pure survival, that they're trying to call and motherfucking AI. So they trying to make it like the 911 call was an AI, the high-ass drunk motherfucker that was on the phone, pure survival, and said he didn't need help, that was an AI. Yo, TMZ, I'm sorry, but this is very disappointing. I don't know if y'all allegedly being paid to say this shit, pure survival, if y'all doing your job, but don't nobody believe this shit, pure survival. And I had to call out TMZ. You know what I'm saying? Put a 1 in the chat if y'all think that TMZ is playing both sides of the fence. Put a 2 in the chat if y'all think TMZ is just playing for Mississippi, that they're getting paid. You know what I'm saying? Put a 3 in the chat if y'all think TMZ ain't doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? Look at all the ones coming in the building. Look, people literally saying I hate TMZ. And that's crazy because I've been on TMZ a couple times. And I'm not gonna lie, like they seem like cool people, you know what I mean? Da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? But I don't like the fact that I gotta send you a script and tell you what I'm gonna say before I get on the motherfucker. Pure survival. Every time I was on TMZ, I had to tell them in a script what I'm gonna say first. It's like they automatically ready to filter me. And I would say shit out of the bloom that's not in the script. Purposely. Y'all not gonna take away my jokes. What the fuck y'all need me for then? I can get on here myself and get my point across, pure survival, and say it the way I want to say it. So that was the only thing with TMZ, you know, with me personally, like that they literally have clearly a certain narrative to where like I couldn't just say what I wanted to say when I went on there. Like I literally on my life, you know what I mean? You can ask my woman, like I had to send them a script every time of what I was gonna say. But I didn't say what I said on the script. I might have used some of it, but I still said other stuff that I wanted to say. You know what I mean? But anyway, so I know that they go off narratives and things that they may, you know, be paid by the higher ups, you know, and I wasn't down with y'all hugging me from the back, pure survival, for y'all trying to blow my back out and make Jamil turn into a TMZ person that gotta say what they want me to say, what the system want me to say. Oh no, I'm one of the motherfuckers that's against the system. Pure survival, the bad system, the corrupted system. I'll never push that narrative. Pure survival. I'm always gonna go against the system. So yeah, they knew it. That's why y'all ain't see me on there in a minute. If you did see me, because no, I wasn't one of them dudes that go along and get along type motherfucker. They like, this nigga, we don't know what he might say out of his mouth. Pure survival. We don't know what he might say out his mouth. He too much of one of them. Like he too much of too much nigga for them. You know what I'm saying? We need to get one that's his complexion, but talk like them. Like Jamil is too, he from Philly too. Oh no, he come from, yeah, I'm saying, the home of yeah, I'm saying. But anyway, guys, justice for Nolan Xavier Wells. I appreciate all of y'all. K-Cells, all of y'all. You know what I'm saying? Audrey Jones, you know, everybody. Shout out to all of y'all, man. If y'all want justice for Nolan Xavier Wells, smash that like button. You know what I'm saying? Hit that hype button when y'all get off of this live. If you want to become a member, because we're going to be covering this. We're going to now, guys, and I know y'all be like, damn, Jamil, you know, we used to you know, doing a comedy, but, you know, and the serious stuff, like, why are you doing the serious stuff? Guys, we are going through trouble in America. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know when I deliver the stuff, I'm still going to bring y'all some comedy, but I gotta speak about this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I actually care to get justice. I'm tired of seeing this stuff. You know what I mean? Just like in Austin, there was like this young boy, the cops killed him for having a water bottle just the other day. Shot him like 30 something, 40 times. You know what I mean? So We're going to always still bring laughter, humor, joy to uplift people comedically, everything. But this topic right here and other topics like this, we're going to start covering more of this, guys. We got to stick together. And shout out to all the white people that are fair, that's not racist, that's seeing that the unjust, that's standing with us at the same time, just like we will stand with y'all. If this was a white boy that this happened to, I would be pushing for him to get justice as well. That's the type of person I am. I don't just judge people off the color of their skin or any of that type of shit. I don't give a damn. I judge you off of who you are. If one white person do something to me, I don't think they all the same or they all did something. Pure survival. No, I'll judge that person who did it. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. That's like if if you're a single woman and you keep talking about you've been hurt before. Okay, I get it. I understand why you're hesitant to date again. But one day you gotta let that guard down. You can't keep thinking every dude is gonna black your eye like the last dude did. Pure survivors. It's like, no. But you can't keep thinking every guy is gonna do that. Eventually you gotta let your hand down. Just like the guys. If you can't keep thinking that all the girls or crazy that's gonna keep ripping up all your clothes, flattening your tires, pure survival, going through your phone, vandalizing the shit. You know what I mean? You gotta let your guard down, brother. You gotta let another woman come in to take a chance to see if the motherfucker's crazy. Pure survival. You gotta take a chance. You know what I mean? Just like landlords. I feel like landlords is wrong too. It's terrible. They be like, look, we gotta do a background check. Just because a person didn't pay their rent 20 years ago, pure survival, I don't feel like a motherfucker 20 years later you should be held responsible. You don't think in 20 years that I didn't change and start paying rent? You know what I mean? A lot of that stuff I don't like. You know what I mean? Even with your criminal record. Like you could have gotten in trouble in the 3rd grade and let you get in trouble today. All them police gonna bring it back up. They're gonna be like, he's hardcore, he's gangster. I'm telling you, in the 4th grade, he pushed this girl down the sliding board. Pure survival. Give him life in prison because he did something 30 years ago. I think all of that is terrible. You know what I'm saying? I really do. At least the last 5 years with everything. Rent, motherfucking criminal, all that shit, relationship-wise, you know what I mean? Ladies, ask the guy, look, have you cheated on a girl and broke her heart in the last 5 motherfucking years, pure survival? We know that they're gonna lie, like Nolan, Xavier, Wells, fake friends, pure survival. You know the dude is gonna lie, but I'm just saying, okay? I'm just saying. Y'all get the analysis of what I'm trying to say. But we are going to get justice. You know what I mean? Look, AKI said Black Power, proud of Bible. You know what I'm saying? Yes, man. Salute to all of y'all. Make sure y'all stay tuned because I will be covering this. I've been covering Nolan and Carmelo Anthony on my Instagram, my Facebook, and my TikTok. If you're not following me on Instagram, pure survival, something wrong with you. If you ain't following me on Facebook, pure survival, something wrong with you. If you ain't following me on TikTok, something wrong with you, pure survival. But make sure y'all stay tuned in, like, share, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Pure survival.